Welcome to the Cryptonaut Podcast. My name is Mark Stores, and hanging out with me as always is
Uncle Bobby.
Uncle Bobby, thank you so very much. And
fourth cousin Chris
back again.
Yep. He's making it a habit.
I mean, honestly.
It's ridiculous.
And that's the Marion cousin right there, fourth cousin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing's webbed.
No.
Not even shit that ought to be webbed is webbed at that point. Like, it's the unwebbening.
I'm completely available.
It's almost like reverse incest.
Jesus. All right,
Except no, I'm not.
Chris's availability and his fourth cousin-ness aside this week. Oh, I'm feeling a little Van Halen with this. I'm feeling a little bit of the old Running with the Duvall.
Duvall.
Man, yeah, we're talking about The Devil on Your Shoulder, Satanic Stowaways.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I too know of this devil which you speak, Mr. Van Halen.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're no stranger.
No, I'm not. And all right, man. Well, let's dig in with one can imagine few things more disturbing than for a person to have their normal everyday life rocked by the revelation that they share their world with malicious, inhuman entities that they once believed were little more than childish fiction. Are we being accosted by tiny, invisible male influencers who corrupt our thoughts and fill our all too susceptible human minds with terrible suggestions? Is that a possibility? Oh, I forgot a part here. Let's discuss just such a scenario in today's episode.
Yes, let's do that.
This is something new where
like where I'm giving you a branching into.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Which I'm not used to that because when I copy all the information for the pod, that's like the intro that I put out for like Spotify and everything. But then there's a little after thing like, let's discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do it all the time.
No.
Just where I think it's necessary.
It's new. I'm adjusting.
I'm not saying it's a common thing.
I'm adjusting. I'm becoming one with it. I'm making peace.
Don't get too used to it. Because that shit will drop off like a bad habit.
It's going to disappear, and what's going to happen? I'm going to already be prepared for it.
And then, you know what you can do?
What's that?
Ad lib.
No.
Yeah, just throw one out there.
Just look for the last
Here
sentence.
we go.
Chris hates when I ad lib.
No, sometimes it's good.
No, it's not. Don't lie.
Every now and again.
No, yeah.
I enjoy it.
I look at your eyes, disappointing eyes.
Yeah, but that's part of the joy.
Those eyes aren't hungry.
Those disappointing eyes from Chris are like hugs from other people.
Those are not hungry eyes.
It's true.
Well, depends.
They're never going to be.
I mean, right before a Burger King episode? Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I have to get a fucking Whopper.
Yeah, Whopper eyes are definitely hungry eyes in Chris's head.
God, Whopper eyes are diarrhea eyes. Robert, let's talk about the devil.
Never.
On our collective shoulder.
So I'm going to forewarn you guys. Uncle Bobby needs his history every now and again, and we're going to dip a little bit into this just to give context.
For the devil?
Well, I mean, not the entire history of the devil. That's impossible.
I was like,
look.
I mean, Jesus Christ, this isn't an 11,000 part episode.
Okay.
This is just for this one specific subsegment of devilry.
Okay, cool. I like it.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
For those of us raised in the Western world, the trope of tiny, often cartoonish, angelic and demonic entities perched on either shoulder, usually angel on the right, demon on the left, because, means sinister or whatever in ancient, I don't know, Greek or Roman, I'm not sure.
Left-hand path,
yeah.
totally.
Who are engaged in a perpetual duel over who can exert the most influence over the scruples of the hapless individual stuck in the middle, is one we've been exposed to since childhood, when it was used in cartoons and TV commercials to help illustrate, in the most generic Judeo-Christian terms, the inner conflict of an individual trapped on the horns of a moral dilemma. Long before the word trope entered our collective lexicon, we recognized this as a cliche that was less about disembodied beings guiding us toward ill or good than it was a shorthand for one's internal turmoil over morally vexing situations. In modern culture, this can be couched in psychological terms as a kind of Freudian triptych, with the demon serving as the id, the angel as the superego, and the individual on whose shoulders they stand as the ego that's trapped somewhere betwixt the two. But one need only look at the origin of this rhetorical device to realize that, like most cliches, it has evolved away from its original intent. One of the earliest written accounts of this concept of warring metaphysical influences can be dated back to Plato's Phaedrus, which was composed around 370 BC, or BCE for those of a more academic bent. In it, he refers to Socrates' speech regarding the division of the human soul as the charioteer, or the portion of the individual guiding the decision-making. This charioteer is guided by a good horse, quote unquote,
Oh,
who
boy.
exercises self-control and moderation, and a bad horse who gives zero fucks about either the whip or the carrot and does its level best to tempt the charioteer into making dubious decisions, especially, though not limited to, regarding lust.
It's always lost.
Dude,
Bad horses and
Yeah.
fucking.
That horse is trying to know. Is that horse trying to get you to fuck?
Oh, that bad horse is
Yeah.
totally trying to, because that bad horse is part of the
Imagine-
triptych of you. You're the charioteer, which is the middle part, the ego in the Freudian analogy.
Okay.
The super ego is the good horse trying to get you on the straight and narrow. The id that's trying to get you tempted to do all sorts of ill shit. We call that the bad horse in the biz.
I just imagine the
You know,
horse,
for Socrateans
just
out
a
there.
horse looking at you, being like, you want to fucking go
You
over
know
there
you want to
and
fuck.
bang that chick, right? You fucking know you want to do that,
Dude,
huh?
I want to
Yeah.
fuck. You
Yeah.
fuck. Let's fuck.
Yeah, and you're just like, you're a horse. Why are you telling me this? This is super inappropriate.
I have never not listened to the bad horse. Like so rarely that it
You
almost...
are the bad horse.
My fucking horse,
I
my good
mean,
horse is
fair.
anorexic, fucking dying in a stable. I don't even take him out anymore.
Did you kill your bad horse years ago?
I sent my bad horse to live on fucking Stardust Ranch where it got squished
Oh,
by some sort of, I don't know,
You
fucking
just
demonic thing.
Sold the good horse.
You
I
sold the
can't-
good horse.
I don't have a need for a good horse.
You do.
Oh, when?
I don't know. Just as a balance, man.
You know, now when you catch me fucking in the studio, I'll be like, bad horse.
It's going to be a code bad horse.
Now you're just going to use excuses. I
Can't
don't know,
do,
bad
can't do
horse.
nothing about it.
That's going to be his new excuse.
I mean,
the bad horse.
I mean, did I establish all of this just to give me a conduit through which I could do this? Maybe. I don't know. I write these things. You guys will just have to live with it.
Bad horse wrote this article. Clearly.
Yes, bad horse is always in charge.
Yeah.
Shit.
All
All
right.
right. Well,
Socrates posited that human beings are caught in a constant struggle between these divergent influences. In terms of Christianity, one of the first references to this concept was introduced in the now apocryphal book, The Shepherd of Hermas, which I'm not very familiar with. I don't know. Chris, you know more about actually Gnostic and obscure
Not stuff in the
biblical text.
Apocrypha, though. I'm
Yeah.
not familiar with a lot of stuff in that.
Neither was I until I was researching this, which was written between 140 and 150 AD. This early non-canonical text claims that, quote, there are two angels with a man, one of righteousness and the other of iniquity, end quote. Rather than being situated on the shoulders and whispering into an ear, thus influencing the mind, these beings were said to be able to travel inside the human heart in an effort to directly guide a person's emotions. In the book, Hermas is told to understand the nature of both angels, but to only trust the angel of righteousness, of course. Typical story. Only, fuck you, bad horse, I guess.
bad horse is called bad horse for a reason, dude. It's a bad horse.
Right.
Just,
But, I mean, it's a lot more appealing. Like, everyone wants that black steed
Yeah.
in their corner.
I mean,
No one wants this whiny, willowy, white,
Yeah.
speckled-ass fucking
In a
pony.
religious context, it's not as bad as
just kind of, I
they will have you.
gotta listen to both sides.
Right,
You gotta listen to both horses.
Bad horse says, "Don't eat clams."
Oh,
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can't do
yeah.
that. You can't bang before you're married.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, clams and banging pre-marriage.
Right.
Done both. I guess I'm
Like the bad horse would be like, "Don't stone this woman for being a woman." Right? The good horse in the
I mean-
story would be like, "No, you got to stone the woman."
Part of me thinks
Right? Though, like-
Chris is doing revisionist bad horse, but I'm totally riding shotgun because anything that justifies bad horse, I'm with.
Okay.
100%.
All right.
Yes,
man.
I mean, just mean in terms of a religious. That's how they
Okay.
viewed.
Right.
Understand.
Yes.
Understandable. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Back to the
Okay.
good horse lollipop.
Yes. Many believe that this concept was designed to bridge the chasm between Christianity and pagan beliefs surrounding ancient tutelary spirits, which, according to the always handy Wikipedia, are minor deities who are the guardians, patrons, or protectors of a particular place, geographic feature, person, lineage, nation, culture, or occupation. It would be a role that so-called patron saints would eventually fill in the Christian world, while the idea of guiding powers would be distilled into the form of angels striving to steer a human being away from the myriad temptations presented by an array of also invisible, though equally influential, diabolical agents. That having been established, arguably the first reference to divine beings gathering on our shoulders comes from the Islamic belief that a pair of angels are with every human being at all times. These spiritual entities, which sit on either shoulder, are known as Al-Kiram and Al-Katibun. One of the angels records the good deeds the person has done during their lifetime, while the other records the bad. It is this ledger that, upon one's death, Allah uses to judge whether an individual is worthy of a place in paradise or will be condemned to the depths of hell. In Japanese Buddhism, the Kushojin, Domyo, and Dosho, who sit on a person's shoulders, observing and reporting all deeds, serve very much the same function. However, neither the Buddhist nor Islamic entities have influence over the choices one makes. History lesson almost over. By the 15th and 16th centuries, European Christian culture, influenced by such works as Christopher Marlowe's The Tragical History of Dr. Faustus, developed the notion of a single guardian angel who is pitted against a personal devil, both of whom offer competing advice to their human charge. This, then, is a very brief overview of what has evolved from an acknowledgement of other intelligences and their abilities to affect our daily lives to become, in the eyes of many, nothing more than a hoary old entertainment cliche, one that has all but outlived its usefulness. But if that is the case, what then are we to make of witnesses who swear that they've seen the very devils in question exercising their malignant influence on unsuspecting fellow humans? Let's dig in and find out. On the April 18th, 2023 episode of Beyond Creepy titled The Day the Dog Vanished / Pests, the day the dog vanished has no bearing on this whatsoever.
I was like,
We're
what
focusing exclusively on pests.
Are we going to bad dogs, not
Nope.
bad horse? Okay.
No.
Cool.
The host, Mr. Black, claimed to have stumbled on a pair of bizarre accounts illustrating just such a scenario. The first encounter was taken from the September 8th, 2014 episode of Dave Schrader and Tim Dennis's Darkness Radio, and involved a blue-collar man named Nelson hailing from Lakeview, Minnesota, who called in to relate an extraordinary event. I was on his show once years ago. I don't remember what episode, but it was fun. We talked about a lot of crazy shit.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Was it something desert? No.
No, it was definitely Darkness Radio.
Was it Darkness Radio?
Yeah, I was on another guy's show in the desert or some shit. I don't remember what the title was.
That's what it was. It was something the desert.
I was doing a pile of interviews like that, like during a few months span that year for some reason.
Yeah, I remember the in the desert ones or whatever it was called. But yeah,
regardless,
Darkness Radio, cool. Check Rob out. There you go.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure you can Google it somewhere.
Totally.
According to his account, Nelson claimed that at about 9 p.m., sometime in October of 2013, he was having a drink in a bar on the east side of St. Paul's West 7th Street neighborhood when he caught sight of something that he would never forget. Quote, "I just happened to look on the other side of the bar, and I saw these little kind of spirits. The best way to describe them, they were maybe 3 to 5 inches tall, and they kind of had oblong faces. There were 2 or 3 of these guys on this guy's shoulder, and they were actually arguing with each other and screaming in this guy's ear." That's fucked up.
All right.
That's something you don't expect to see.
Okay. 3. Okay. All right. Okay. We need more information.
Nelson described the little beings as clad in tattered clothes that seemed to be of an older fashion, though a specific era was not cited. Which makes me wonder, are we talking like sad sack depression era bagathons? Are we talking like fucking Oliver Twist Victorian Vogue?
Yeah.
Are we talking like Mad Men with like fucking sweet little black ties and sharp suits? I don't know. I just know it's an outdated fashion.
Okay, weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I did picture the kind of sackish.
I know
Dobby looking clothes.
Because they always look like the fucking returners, the borrowers, whatever that fucking childhood book that was turned into multiple films. I think they're called the borrowers. They look like little, I don't know, like handmade, turn of the century street urchin fucking clothes.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
But I'm not saying that's true. That's not.
Yeah,
it's not based on the fucking factual account.
Right.
Yeah, I'm thinking
fiction.
like a weird pair of like old tattered pants at the knees, and then they got like a little rope. Like
so you're talking like straight hobo fashion.
Yeah, like what the Trolls would wear in the Trolls movie. Wow, they're fashionable though.
I picture Dobby type clothes.
I'll go with Chris.
Well, not
Dobby.
the box trolls. Box trolls wore boxes, I think.
Oh. No, I was
But
thinking
the normal people in that movie dressed in
the-
Victorian era
no, like
shit.
the musical trolls.
No, I know.
Okay.
I'm not interested in that kind of troll. It wasn't stop motion animation. That's my jam.
I'm not interested in that kind of troll.
You should watch it with the kids. It's great.
Sure. There's other kids.
I'm actually not interested in that
Other
kind of troll
movies.
either.
Other things to do.
It's got a great soundtrack, dog. It's a banger.
Bad Horse ain't having it, dude.
Okay, Bad Horse. Calm down there, Bad Stallion.
Fuck.
Bad Stallion.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Yes. It was then that Nelson noticed an equally disturbing trend. Although the man at the bar did not seem to be aware of the fact that these small beings were berating him, whenever one began to shriek in his ear, the man began to shout incoherently. Nelson observed, quote, as these things were talking to him, he was shouting. You know how drunk people talk? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. They just really kind of freaked me out. So we've all seen, maybe occasionally Ben, that drunk ass person, but rarely Ben, like seen that like inebriate that fucking died in the wool, hardcore drunk, just shouting themselves, talking to people that aren't there.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Airing out past grievances. And I'm sure a lot of that is natural neurobiological processes and,
just working some stuff out, man.
and alcoholism. But every now and again, just maybe,
It's devils.
it's the goddamn devils on your fucking shoulder. The satanic stowaways. If
Okay,
you will.
I like it. I like it. Brought on by booze. I dig it.
Or is the booze a way to disenfranchise yourself from a reality where you're constantly being tormented by devils?
Yeah. Ooh, you break down the walls. You break down the barriers. And they get you. They come sneaking up. Bad Horse. Oh, Bad Horse. He's right there.
That's what I'm saying.
God. He's watching me.
So it goes without saying, whenever I ignore the policies of Bad Horse, the devils encourage the drink. This pod's enabling the fuck out of me.
None of this is your fault. You're just
None
like,
of it.
I can't.
Yeah.
I have taken personal responsibility for fucking too many goddamn years. After I did the research for this, I realized it's not me, dog.
Yeah.
It's
Boy,
bad.
this
It's
is-
Bad Horse and the Devils,
This is convenient.
which is like a blues band.
It's not your fault, man.
It's
not my
It's
fault.
not your fault.
I got a little tiny angelic Robin Williams.
Yeah.
just telling me.
It's not your fault.
R.I.P.
Oh, is it too soon?
Yeah, man.
Well, I
Oh.
mean, at least it was angelic.
It's true.
All right.
Okay.
So moving on.
There you go.
As Nelson was openly staring at the inhuman apparitions that no one else seemed to notice, it wasn't long before the humanoids on the drunk man's shoulder began staring back. That's the worst moment.
Oh,
When they
man.
see you, I don't know what in a movie, but I imagine in
yeah.
real life 10 times worse. Like they're looking back and your little clandestine position is fucking gone.
Cover's blown, dude. Call for backup. Call Riggs.
Right. It was then that the patron realized that, while their forms were distinctly human, their eyes were anything but, going back to his testimony. They see me, and they looked at each other. And then they looked at me again, and they were talking. I could hear them talking, but I couldn't make out what they were saying. And then they looked at me again. Jesus Christ, that's terrible. Now they're conspiring, conferring, trying to figure out what the fuck they're going to do with you.
You're right.
And your dumb ass because
Yeah.
because you took the time to stare. And I know you can't help yourself when you're having a couple fucking brews or maybe a highball, whatever the fuck you're drinking. And when you see this shit, you're going to look,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and at first maybe you're going to think, oh, it's like little animatronics. This dude's fucking around.
Little animal.
I don't know. What do you think? I mean, when you're trying to be rational, what would you think?
I guess it depends how drunk I was as well.
Puppets.
Puppets.
I don't know. It's a puppet show. Yeah, in a
Okay,
bar.
fine.
Yeah, puppets.
That's-
maybe.
He's doing a
That's
little
fair.
skit.
Yeah, or he's got like a little marionette.
Like a demonic Punch and Judy, except it's all demon punches.
yeah, or like a marionette show. Maybe it's an
I mean-
art. It's an art performance,
It could be.
and you don't want to judge.
You
the
can't.
art.
I mean, you can't
at the
You'd
bar.
rule it out.
Yeah, you just gotta sit and just do one of those weird claps. Like, okay, cool.
Yep.
Like when there's like random poetry night, and you're just like, remember that poetry night?
Oh, I do. Oh my God.
Yeah,
We
you remember
attended
that?
way too many of those.
yeah. We're like,
yeah.
oh, it's weird. Everyone's uncomfortable.
Yep.
Everyone's uncomfortable.
When can this end and we can start drinking?
Yeah, why can't we have fun poems?
I know.
like poems about fun things.
You guys suck.
This is terrible.
Everyone's sad. Why is every poet
Oh
sad?
God, you sound like Jim Morrison. Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh,
At
God.
the worst.
That's the deal.
It was terrible.
It is.
Yeah.
I know.
Maybe it's like a one-shoulder flash mob. Who knows what's
Okay.
going on?
All right. Well,
Maybe
I
it's
mean-
forced perspective and they're normal-sized people really far away that just look like they're on the shoulder.
Oh, right.
dude.
I mean, you consider
yeah,
everything.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right, man.
So, fuck. Yes. They're looking back and forth. I really started getting freaked out by this, Nelson continued. Their eyes were dark. There were no retinas, no nothing, just black, little black eyes.
Oh, creepy.
It was then that some of the things evidently left their host and, like a paranormally oriented communicable disease, migrated onto the shoulder of a woman sitting near the man. So now they're just jumping ship. Like people, they're like rats and the vessels are the humans.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
These creatures began whispering into the woman's ear, and like the drunk man before her, she suddenly started talking out loud. It was frightening how fast their influence took hold. So just like I guess like a demon virus, but or whatever the fuck these things are.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
they're not necessarily demons, leprechauns.
And they can obviously control something. Okay, it's strange.
And like their whispers affect you, which is classic fae behavior.
Sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is very reminiscent of like fae, like fairies.
These guys clearly ate the fae bread.
Yeah.
The fae Doritos.
Yeah.
When you see a bowl set out on the table, you don't realize it's in like a fae crystal. You start eating them, you don't realize.
Yeah, man.
You're like, ooh, cool ranch, cool ranch. That's what they're called in fairyland.
Cool ranch.
Cool ranch.
Bad horse is
Jesus
highfalutin.
Christ.
this is
Wow.
We had a taste of Bad Horse before the pod. We did. So this might be highfalutin Bad Horse.
Yeah.
He's forgetting his roots. He's forgetting his DIY punk rock
All right,
roots.
fuck you.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool ranch.
Cool ranch.
All right, my inability to say words
Do
aside.
you have any taquitos?
Oh, God. Anyway, I was just suggesting maybe they got duped into eating the fairy food, but apparently I revealed myself. Frightened and unsure what to make of what he was witnessing, perhaps even fearing that his sanity might be slipping, Nelson tried to quote-unquote ground himself in the moment by striking up a conversation with the bartender. No longer looking at these vile despoilers of what ought to have been a good old-fashioned drinking session for all involved, Nelson did his best to convince himself that he had tippled too much and, like pink elephants stalking inebriates of yore, he was just seeing things. Without so much as another glance at the humanoid parasites who'd been staring him down and potentially making their way closer in order to take control of his mind and make him too begin to shout like a crazy person, Nelson left the pub without hesitation, later admitting to Schrader, "I don't think I know what I seen that night," in proper blue-collar vernacular, which clearly I am incapable of doing correctly.
It makes sense. I mean, seeing something like that, you literally have no idea. I mean, you obviously know what you saw, but trying to explain that to somebody, you're like, I was at Swabby's getting hammered, and there was some dude next to me with little spirits on his, shoulder, yelling at him.
That's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah,
because then what do you do with that?
It's gonna make you probably.
How do you pack that away?
Drinking's gonna get weird.
Yeah,
because you're like, do I want to get to the point that these little things are on my shoulder?
Or if it's brought on by drinking, it might not be. I mean, we've all drank pretty heavily.
Sure,
and I've never
seen
male influence. At least as far, I guess the sufferer doesn't know.
Yeah,
so
we don't
who
know.
knows?
What if we did?
Yeah.
What if we did?
Well, I think one of us would see him on the others. Maybe. Who's got the sight? Which one of us has got the sight?
Definitely
Chris?
not me.
Fuck.
No, it ain't Chris. It ain't me. My eyes suck.
Well,
and as do yours.
Yeah, my eyes blow. So no.
Yeah, we can't see shit.
All right, so we wouldn't know.
Okay.
If we were suffering from the drunk fae. Okay, but
cool.
But I'm just saying, if you saw that shit, I mean, I wouldn't go back to that pub. I would I would be very worried about seeing them again. And then I would be worried about if I was doing anything where I felt like I was being influenced by, like we all get taken by moods, like just a flare of temper that comes out of nowhere.
Sure.
A lot of it's inspired by just circumstance and genetics and all these things that
Evan Williams.
Sure. Bad horse abides. But that having been said, maybe occasionally, and I'm really not pawning it off, I do think most of the stuff is truly explicable. But maybe occasionally there is a male influencer.
Or maybe like you were saying, maybe it is like a location-based thing, depending on where you are. And next thing you know, these things are just kind of messing with you.
Working class St. Paul, Minnesota.
Just this could be any weird location. I don't think it actually matters geographically. Just whatever, some weird location's got something strange. Yeah, Minnesota's kind of like Faye. Minnesota Faye. Oh, Minnesota Faye. Yeah, it's a cool band right there, dude.
Sure.
Country punk rock band.
Yeah. And pool sharks.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a sports team.
The Minnesota Fae.
Minnesota Fae.
Yeah, that would be kind of fucking dope, dude.
So it's hard to live in a world where you have to deal with that being a reality.
Yeah, that is weird. Okay. Well,
And he couldn't tell anyone until he called into a late night radio paranormal show.
Yeah, I mean, do you go tell your friends at work the next day? Like,
No.
holy fuck, Dan, you're never going to guess what happened.
Because then you become the guy.
Yeah, then
and
you're
then
the
maybe
fool,
when
dude.
you announce that you know about them, maybe that's when they creep onto you because they're like, oh, people already think you're crazy. We're just going to exacerbate the
Yeah.
process by influencing you.
And the dude could perceive them. So, oh man, face eye.
I mean, who knows?
yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of,
In the words of Chris, that's the deal.
that's the deal.
That's the deal.
Yes.
I mean, it is the deal.
It is.
You ready to move on?
I am.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Do you like cracking into curious creatures? Perhaps you ponder the paranormal. Have you ever got a hankering for the haunted? Ever entertained the existence of extraterrestrials? Or have you ever just wanted to hear genuine encounters of any kind? If you have answered yes to any of these questions, then Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy Podcast is right up your alley. So grab your sense of humor and open your mind as we take a journey to uncover the mysteries behind kooky critters, spooky specters, enigmatic entities, and the controversial conspiracies that surround them. Buckle up because we're going to have a good time.
Our next account comes to us from 1992's fall-winter edition, specifically number 10, of Mark Chorvinsky's seminal supernatural periodical Strange Magazine. In an issue that dealt with such wide-ranging subjects as the Wisconsin werewolf investigation, Sable Island's tragic ghosts, and of course, mermaid abductions, I won't buy a magazine that doesn't at least broach the subject.
Magazine fucking rules, dude.
There was an article titled Cash Eerie. Now, I only heard it, but I'm assuming it's Cash Eerie because it's about a cashier. So Cash
That
Eerie
makes sense.
as in
Okay,
Erie,
yeah.
Indiana. You know,
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'm down.
that told of one woman's literal encounter with her coworkers' personal demons. According to the testimony, sometime in 1977, the unnamed observer was working at a casino somewhere in the United States when she had a run-in that shook her to the core. The woman claimed that she and nearly everyone else working at that casino made it a point to avoid contact with a fellow employee who they, in classic late 70s fashion, labeled as mentally disturbed, as she often talked to herself and confided to some the fact that she could see demons around her, which I get are sort of maybe alarm bells. Maybe you don't want to like invite her to your home, but let's not like stigmatize people.
No, yeah.
Yeah, she could just
I
be
get it.
suffering from some mental illness. I mean, that actually, or that could be like schizophrenia,
Sure.
or like a paranoid delusion or something like that.
Absolutely.
Like, 'cause I definitely have met someone that was like, I talk to God and angels, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you had
A few times.
you had
yeah.
you had a real close one.
Yeah. So
Okay.
and
Yeah, so it happens,
and
you
you
know.
have empathy for fellow human beings.
100%.
Needless
yeah, man,
to say,
that's a bummer. You know?
77, slightly different time.
Sure.
Not that anything excused it, but whatever.
Yeah.
The eyewitness further claimed that this woman had a tendency to abruptly throw her hands in the air as if waving invisible insects away from her head. Like the rest of her coworkers, the witness claimed that she did her best to avoid the so-called crazy woman, that's a quote, that's what they called her, that they worked with, until one night when the fates conspired to not only bring them together, but to force open the narrator's skeptical eyes to another, much darker, more sinister world lurking within our own workaday reality. At about 11 p.m. on the night in question, the principal witness's supervisor informed her that her replacement had called in sick and that she was going to have to be replaced by the crazy woman, quote unquote. As it turned out, according to the eyewitness, the woman had to be retrieved from the coffee shop, quote, as she was having another one of her attacks. She finally showed up and procedure called for her to count my bank, and I had to stay in the booth with her as she counted the money. It would be at this moment that, according to Mr. Black, things went from strange to totally off the rails. The experiencer continued her account, quote, as she was doing this, she was talking to herself and would stop counting the money to shoo away whatever was flying around her head and yelling for it to leave her alone. Of course, I was embarrassed for her and I felt sorry for her. but I didn't look at her for a few seconds. Then I couldn't resist. I glanced over at her, and to my amazement and shock, there was this little being floating in the air.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the quote-unquote crazy lady all of a sudden is not so goddamn crazy.
Facts and science. The woman could hardly believe her eyes. There, mere inches away from her in that small booth, was an enigmatic entity that all but defied description. Quote, it was definitely human-looking, only in the head and face. The rest of the body was like smoke. It looked male to me, so I will say he from now on. He had a sneer on his face, and hate and anger showed through his eyes, and the sneer. The woman could only watch in horror as the insidious imp pummeled itself against the other co-worker's skull as she tried in vain to wave it away, all the while pleading for it to leave her alone. So I guess just like little man head with like a vaporous, I don't know, almost like a bug body just going boom, boom, boom. It's just very unnerving.
Yeah, it's fucking super creepy.
I don't love it. Who would?
No, I am not.
Like
in love.
I don't know why I'm thinking of the genie from Pee-wee's Playhouse, because he wouldn't do that.
No.
Well, that was just a
Zombie?
head.
Come on.
Yeah, he was just getting a
He's
head.
a head in a box.
Yeah,
he was just chilling.
He was a good dude.
He was.
No
solid
no
dude.
smoke body.
No smoke body.
I
Yeah,
mean, a
smoke body's
weird, like illusion of vaporousness around him, maybe. Or a
Maybe.
glow. I don't really remember Pee-wee's Playhouse that
I'm not
well.
really sure.
But whatever. All right.
Was it a full-size human head?
Yes, it was definitely a head in a trapdoor pretending to be a
I'm
disembodied
talking about
head.
what
Oh,
Not Zombie,
Not Zombie.
the entity.
the entity.
No, I just pictured. I don't.
Jesus Christ!
No.
I'm like, dude, come on, Zombie.
No, whatever this entity is it like a full-size
That's
head?
a really good question.
Okay.
I picked.
That-
yeah, I don't know.
I saw a little head,
yeah, me too.
No, it's
like doll-sized head,
Yeah.
I want to go little head.
like vapor torpedo body,
Yeah.
battering ram against the back of this poor woman's skull. But I honestly don't know. Full scale head, that's more like headbutts. That's crazy.
That's like super problematic.
Yeah.
Although this tiny head's even worse though.
Somehow worse.
Because it can hit more. It can hit you quicker in more areas. Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can dot your eyes,
Yeah.
put out your nose.
Yeah. Ugh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Fuck this
it's
thing.
bad. Yeah.
This is
The
terrible.
woman continued her account, quote, I thought my jaw fell on the floor. I closed my eyes and rubbed them and opened them again to see if I had really seen what I saw, and it was still there, throwing itself at her with a vengeance. I could feel the hate as I stared at it. At that point, the witness realized she could no longer stand idly by as this thing attacked her co-worker unabated. Quote, I started to say, leave her alone. I was thinking it when all of a sudden it looked at me with surprise in its eyes and vanished.
Oh, busted.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Wimp.
Pierce the veil, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody saw me. I got a book.
Yeah, well, that's what they have to do, man. Because then they're fucked. The jig is up. They're busted. They know I'm in trouble.
Well, that goes back to like witch lore. Not that I buy any of it, and I know all of it was anti-feminist claptrap and ways to, keep independent women down, and also ways to destroy your fellow human being when you were jealous for whatever reason. But allegedly publicly decrying and accusing somebody of being a witch
Right.
was a way to remove its powers. So maybe there was some parallel in the
How does that
demonic
work?
imp, elf, floaty head world.
Oh yeah, if you see it, then it loses its power. It's like, no, I can't be seen, and it scurries away.
Before you can banish it.
Yeah,
Like, I rebuke you, head.
yeah, weird smoke head
Yeah.
or full head smoke body.
Yep. Full head smoke body.
Yeah,
Smoke show.
Full small head, smoke body.
grab this little bastard and throw it.
You can't. How?
You gotta try.
Can't grab smoke, man.
the head.
That'll bite you.
Yeah, you could do that.
Well, you
could
gotta
totally
get it at a good angle.
Oh,
Get
dude.
it by the eyes and the chin.
No,
I'm
dude.
not sure you can grab it though.
Give it the clutch.
Ooh.
God, it's like that.
Like a fucking like a
Like bowling ball.
curveball.
No, man, with the iron sheik, the fucking clutch.
Oh, the camel clutch.
Yeah, dude. Fuck, grab that.
You didn't
bastard.
identify it as the camel clutch.
Yeah,
you just
I
called
know
it the
what you're
clutch.
doing.
You gotta put that shit so deep in its mouth it can't bite you, and then you catch
That
it.
is not the camel
you catch
clutch.
it right. Isn't
No,
this
you
right
don't
here?
put anything in its goddamn
No.
mouth. It's got
Camel
presumably
clutch is
teeth.
you're on the dude's back and you put their arms up and you get under the chin and pull their chin up.
What's the hell's the one that you shoot your hand like that into their mouth, and then you grab them?
I don't know.
The chin, and you're like,
Like Mankind did that with Sacco. I don't know remember what it was called, but
Oh, I got my
Remember who did
wrestling.
that?
I got my wrestling move super confused.
then there's just the claw, the fucking
Oh, yeah,
the Von
the regular
Erich
claw,
right?
yeah.
The claw.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I got my mouth. All right, well, don't you can't give it a stoner.
You could Von Erich claw it, but then it's going to like gnaw at the palm of your hand, and that's not going to be comfortable. And it's going to be moist. It's going to be weird.
Maybe you just got punched.
Then you just squeeze it until it explodes, but then does it like turn to smoke and then filter out and then attack you again from another end? See, there's a lot of factors.
Well, it doesn't matter because as soon as you see it, it books. So you're
yeah,
going to get your hands on
true.
it.
Yeah, we can't do any wrestling moves. Yeah. We really can't.
Yeah,
tombstone.
We can't use movie science.
Yeah,
we
man,
can't use wrestling moves.
Oh, dude, if you gave it a tombstone, a torture rack, oh, dude, put it in the Boston Crab.
True.
Dude, sharpshooter.
The smoke. Give it the fucking sharpshooter.
Fucking elbow off the top rope. Fucking Randy Savage that shit. Just pretend you don't see it and just climb up ladders. Like, I don't know. And
Woo! Just fucking go flying off. Randy Savage that shit. Oh shit.
Fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
The witness claimed that she was in total shock and began to scream, but managed to stifle it. She did her best to rein in her racing thoughts and tried to calm down. On the verge of panic, she asked the woman, whom she now categorically knew was not crazy, if she could leave, telling her that she trusted her to count down her bank. The beleaguered woman, evidently, and perhaps tragically, unaware that someone else had bore witness to her private tormentor, told her flustered coworker that it was fine if she wanted to go. Unsure of what to do next, the witness gathered her strength and went to talk to her boss. Quote, I went straight to my supervisor and told her what happened. She looked at me and said, thank God. I thought I was crazy because she had seen these small people sitting on the crazy lady's shoulder. Little inappropriate to call her crazy lady still, but whatever.
Yeah, just call her Judy, man, because at this point she ain't nuts.
At this point it's Judy. Yeah, exactly. Helen, whoever the fuck it is.
Janelle, whatever, it's fine. Yeah, shit.
But anyway, the boss saw two of these small people sitting on her shoulder talking like two old buddies. She couldn't hear what they were saying, and no one else had or could see them but her and now me.
At least you got somebody there.
So, and that's weird too. Like, so she saw the weird vapor body battering ram baby head like a mad ball, except like a mean dude. The boss saw two little dudes like I don't know, like turn of the century skyscraper builders working on the Empire State Building, sitting on a girder having lunch, except they're on this lady's shoulder, just punching in for their shift, driving this poor woman fucking insane. Like it's a fucking demon job. You just fucking go in, ask fucking weird, Bill what's up.
It's like some weird tormenting thing. It's bizarre.
But that whole just like two small people having a conversation, like
weird.
Now this is what we do. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's some sort of karmic response team. Maybe, I'm not here to prejudge people. Maybe they're being punished or monitored or fucking being berated for a reason in the cosmological scheme that I can't figure, but it seems like a shitbag deal to me without knowing the details.
Yeah, perhaps some weird possession.
Can't rule out possession when it comes to shit like this.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, as is too often the case, there is no follow-up on this account. It would be nice to think that these two women took the time to talk to the not-so-crazy lady in their midst, who, despite clearly suffering at the hands of phantasmal antagonists, managed to get herself to work each and every day, where she was, on top of everything else, forced to bear the brunt of the social stigma that comes with being labeled mentally disturbed, a stigma that was even more damning almost half a century ago. But we don't know if any such effort was made. If not, as much as I wish they had, I'm not entirely sure I blame the accidental eyewitnesses for keeping their mouths shut. Besides the aforementioned soul-atrophying social stigma, there's also long-established precedent that suggests noticing diabolical entities is a surefire way to get tormented by said beings. So letting these things know that you see them,
now you're the
not great.
You're the subject.
Yeah.
Next.
Man. But when you start trying to give comfort and aid to their victims, as much as it's the good, humane thing to do, I mean, are you putting yourself in the crossfire? And is that something you're prepared to handle? I mean, if you're an exorcist or like a man, woman, or child of the cloth, then I suppose maybe you're prepared for this spiritual warfare. But if you're just an average fuckall working at a casino or a guy drinking at a bar, you might not be prepared to like pony up to this fucking particular obstacle.
Spiritual warfare.
Yeah, it can be pretty crazy.
Damn.
Spiritual. In the end, These are just two, yes, of what must be scads of similar stories. Maybe they're hoaxes or even less explicably shared delusions, but I can't help but to wonder if we might not be on the cusp of a scientific revolution. Before 1676, when Antoine van Leeuwenhoek, sure I said that right, utilizing a single lens microscope of his own design, discovered the existence of bacteria and protozoa, Europe's scientific elite lived in a world where to even suggest that the human race shared the world with microscopic organisms that were invisible to the naked eye would be tantamount to an admission of madness and all but academic suicide. In fact, it would be over a century before anyone was able to confirm the pioneering bacteriologist's observations. Even more egregiously, it wouldn't be until 2 centuries had passed that legendary French scientist Louis Pasteur first discovered that microbes were the cause of disease. In the years that followed, such eminent medical practitioners as Dr. Robert Koch and Dr. Joseph Lister would add to Pasteur's extraordinary observations with the revelations that specific bacterium were the cause of different diseases and that improved surgical hygiene helped halt the spread of such infectious organisms. Not long before Van Leeuwenhoek's extraordinary discovery, nailing it left and right, anyone even suggesting that something as absurd as invisible life forms not only existed, but had a very real and oftentimes devastating effect on visible reality, flirted with the very real danger that they might be accused of dabbling in witchcraft.
Yeah, back in the day, man, not good.
The moral of the story is that within relatively recent history, vast swaths of the natural world were not only unknown to the best educated among us, but for the vast majority of the population were utterly unfathomable. But just because the best science of the early 17th century and its most esteemed practitioners had not yet recognized the existence of the microscopic world and its inhabitants doesn't mean that said world and the sundry life forms that live within it did not exist. They did. And now it's a fact that every school-age science student knows. So where am I going with all of this? For those of us born in the 20th century, the brightest, most optimistic view of the future was always a highly technological, science-driven, secular utopia wherein the myths, superstitions, and religions of yesteryear were removed from everyday life and relegated to dusty tomes in the mostly unused folklore sections of vast, archaic libraries. But what if that potential version of the future is wrong? What if the future is a world where science hasn't refuted what are now seen as episodes of supernatural chicanery or paranormal hooey, but confirm the existence of metaphysical phenomenon opening up new and heretofore undreamed of branches of science? Someday, as hard as it is to fathom right now, our high-tech, AI-infused, microcomputer-ridden world will, to future generations, seem as backward and archaic as the medieval era seems to us today. For that society, even the most cutting-edge 21st century surgical techniques will seem to be the equivalent of using leeches to bleed a patient of their ill humors. What if someday, with improved monitoring technology, tiny, intelligent, whispering imps, so incomprehensible to the modern rational mind, are proven to be just as real as the once fantastical idea of germs and microscopic life? What if, before that day comes, we better start to notice their presence before it's too late to do something about it?
Oh, the devil on your shoulder,
Oh, man.
satanic stowaways. Robert paints a weird picture of the future where scientifically they're like, well, it's the imps.
I mean, you never know. And it won't be the imps. It won't be magical. It will be science. It will be like there's other intelligences.
I mean, the whole UAP disclosure is kind of
True.
going towards the spiritual end.
I know it.
So, I mean, man, what if this is all tied into that?
Oh, trust me, that was like percolating in the back of my mind as I was talking
especially
about
recently,
this.
man. It's been way in the news where they're like, you don't understand spiritual beings piloting crafts or whatever. They've been here all along.
Yeah,
We
but
are the-
spiritual is a word
Well, yeah,
they never clearly define.
Yeah, no, they're just saying that like they're not necessarily from
I think metaphysical would be an easier
metaphysical,
one for us to
non-human
all
intelligence.
swallow. Non-human intelligence that isn't necessarily extraterrestrial in origin.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
maybe
Which is what sort of
multidimensional
these
or
things
whatever.
could be. So yeah, man, you're dealing with these weird little impy creatures that definitely I'm just going to go with Fae, very reminiscent of Fae, that are kind of like infecting people, which is well, everything that we've seen so far. Though they've been, well, according to these cases here, they're infecting people and like getting them to like yell or scream or. Well, I guess with the poor woman in the casino though, they were just like constantly like tormenting her in the head. Yeah, it seems to me like it's some like weird like possession or like. Well, I guess the faith thing could be a possession too. Honestly, like
sure,
faith possessing you.
I mean, it could be, but it seems less possession and more influence,
like torment. Or
it's definitely torment. Like what they were doing to that lady.
I guess it technically is
like guiding them to act a certain way to make them, I guess, less approachable to other human beings.
Yeah,
to make them feel like. I mean, the worst times of my life, bar none, with the exception of losing loved ones, is the times where I felt like I was losing my fucking mind.
Right.
Which happened a lot, especially in my late teens, early 20s, where I really thought I was flirting with schizophrenia and other ailments. And I really, like, bad episodes of this. That's a terrifying, like, it's truly an existential crisis of Nietzschean proportions where you are looking headlong into an abyss. You are drowning in a sea that won't kill you.
Yeah.
It's a terrifying, terrible feeling. And so I have mad sympathy for anyone like that. And if these things, like, say, alleged ultra-terrestrials feed on fear, if these things feed on true existential despair, horrifying as that thought is, well, that's a terrible kind of parasite, and it seems all too prevalent in, modern humanity.
Even stranger though is that people around them are picking up on these things. It's even,
but so rarely.
It's so weird. Yeah, like so bizarre. Because like you said, though, like the woman in the casino, you'd think that she's suffering from some form of mental illness, whether it's schizophrenia or bipolar or whatever, paranoid delusions. But she actually has something attacking her.
Yeah,
fucking weird, dude.
Well, okay, so if we're gonna put this in some sort of umbrella territory,
okay, cool.
What it could. I guess just be a manifestations of those people themselves.
Ooh, interesting.
Like why not? Right.
I like that. Yeah. So it's not like some kind of outside influence. It's actually a manifestation of the person. Out.
Sure. That's why it's something. It's little people. Sometimes it's a weird head with smoke. Right. Sometimes
weird.
It's whatever's going on, and maybe they just have some sort of little bit of extra something that. Makes him manifest
makes it
sort
corporeal.
Of weird, weird,
or sort of at least because it's not invisible to everyone else except the
so
person
it's not
who sees
an
it.
Outside influence. It's like, or it's not. It's like an inside.
I mean, I'm just throwing out there.
Like, no, I mean it's a valid alternate theory.
I think it's cool.
Absolutely.
I think it's really cool.
I think it's one that definitely should be entertained because
for sure.
I mean, with enough faith, with enough. I mean, again, I know they're not called tulpas. Like say the tulpa, not
the
tulpa.
Egregore.
The egregore. Whatever it is that you can wish into existence, and the dubiousness of that, because a lot of people believe in things that aren't physically manifesting at all, period.
No, yeah, for sure.
Right.
Like, I don't think John F. Kennedy Jr. has shown up anywhere recently, among many other things.
Not yet. He's still coming back.
But I'm just saying, if enough people believe and it's supposed to manifest, it's clearly it's not working. And I mean, we would be having God and Yahweh and Vishnu and Buddha sightings constantly.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
So that's not happening. So that's why I'm very. I mean, maybe you have to be a really adept practitioner of meditation to manifest something like this. So it's a possibility. But I'm thinking with random people seeing it and them reacting the way they are as if it's a foreign attacker, it still seems like parasite is the more likely, though still not really rational in any way, thing that I would go with. But Chris's theory is absolutely valid and should be put in there.
A spiritual parasite, interesting.
Or psychological.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, like with the woman in the casino, like whatever this thing is tormenting her. That's like almost like a physical representation of like what mentally she has going on.
But what's it eating? Like if it is a parasite, what is it? What is it suckling on, as it were?
I mean, life essence, is that a thing?
I mean,
call that
besides the aforementioned despair. I don't know.
Help me, dude. What is life? Spiritual fluid.
What is it? Wow. I mean, I don't think this at all. No.
Oh no,
dude.
The hands up.
Adrenochrome or whatever.
Yeah, adrenochrome. That's what the lizard people are supposed to be feeding
It's
on.
Q, dude. That's all Q. Yeah, everybody.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
I don't think it's that.
It's always something where they're like, they're sucking something from the children or whatever. They have to murder them to drink the blood of the innocent or
Well,
whatever.
a lot of ridiculous
Kings.
shit
Blood of the Kings, yeah.
is predicated on real shit.
That's true.
I mean, mosquitoes are real, even if fucking
Sure.
maybe chupacabras aren't.
Hey.
I said maybe.
Hey.
I believe in the
We
chup.
can all say Q is dumb shit. Chups, that's legit.
All right, that's fair.
That's legit.
Listen, I'm not here to piss on the chup.
We got more proof of
I
a
mean-
chups than we
I
got
mean, your dick would be in immediate danger, for one thing.
we got more proof of a chups than we do Q, okay?
All right, that's fair.
So there.
I wasn't even debating that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, when Q starts fucking leaving, hundreds of dead chickens in its wake, then we'll talk.
Yeah. Until then,
Well, yeah.
enjoy your stupid internet form, Q. So, all right, could be some sort of external influence, or like Chris said, some sort of like internal manifestation. Both of them are really interesting, though,
Yeah.
because it does sort of get to like a mind parasite, or like whether it's demonic. I mean,
Yeah.
extraterrestrial would not really work.
I mean, why not?
I mean,
Why rule anything out at this point?
You could
Interdimensional,
Yeah,
demonic,
you could
extraterrestrial.
fit it
I mean,
in
it's
there.
fucking
Yeah, man, there's something
high wizards,
feeding off you. Weird, dude.
unseelie court. I mean, there's literally nothing you should rule out
Yeah, it's true.
because it could be anything.
I wonder. I mean, spirit. I'm sure that there's
Yeah.
got to be some sort. This obviously ties into like spirituality with like the evil demons or the evil spirits or whatever influence your body to do this or do that.
Well, of course, in a
So,
Judeo-Christian context, that's going to be the go-to.
yeah.
Anything that isn't God and an angel is a demon.
I wonder
If it's
that's-
supernatural, period.
If that's if they describe it like that because of stuff like this, where these things are like.
I mean, it
Possessing
wouldn't be
you.
the first time that religion contextualized a manifest phenomenon in the light of something that it felt comfortable with, which is us good, them bad,
Right.
not
Yeah.
us, but still powerful, means demonic or, and goblins and everything. Everything falls under the demonic tree in
Yeah.
Christianity. So all the pagan fae people are all demons.
Right.
Everything is demonic if it's not angelic and or God.
So what's your take on this?
It's interesting. I'm thinking it is, if it's real, it's a facet of reality. And again, it's a big if it's real, but it's a facet of reality where some people are suffering from it. Even fewer people are able to bear third-person witness to what's going
Yeah.
on, which is, disturbing and yet somehow confirming. So maybe if you're out there and you've been suffering from this, maybe take a comfort from that.
Yeah, sucks
and
though.
and
Oh,
that
shit.
and that like
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Bedlam in the Dickensian era was literally a shit show, and by that I mean feces was on the walls. It was a fucking bloodbath of fucking straitjackets and mayhem.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully, like psychiatric medicine, neurobiology, psychology, and the rest, science will catch up and help, or be able to offer these people at least, I don't know, a modicum of hope.
Yeah, man. That's a good point there. I wonder if like adjusting your serotonin levels. What if these things are to serotonin?
I mean, maybe.
Ooh, interesting.
I mean, if they're siphoning it out, but then I don't know. Like,
Well, first of all, how's it there? And you have to solve that problem of what is it, where did it come from, whatever.
Right.
Then B, how the fuck are these other people seeing it?
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot
I
of
mean, is it?
problems.
There's a weird fence you have to go past that, jump that fence to get like, well, why are these people seeing
Is it a
it?
genetic predisposition that allows you to see these things? Sort of like, I don't know. You guys ever watched the show Resident Alien with Tudyk?
I've heard of it.
It's a fun
I
show.
heard it was good.
But some
I
people have a
watched it,
genetic
yeah.
propensity in the mythology of this completely fictional show to see extraterrestrials,
Okay.
and whereas other people, most people, 99% of the culture can't. So maybe
Yeah.
something along those lines, because
Yeah.
using fiction as the prop
sight,
of
the second
science.
sight.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe they drop their
Maybe-
mesmer or something when they're fucking around too much, and allow themselves accidentally to be
Well,
seen.
for some reason, whatever it is, these people can they can perceive these entities, which is bizarre. But then again, there's people that claim to, like people that see ghosts and shit
Sure.
like that. It's kind of along the same thing. Maybe there's tuned to a different frequency.
Sure.
Oh.
Well, and that's other things too. Light frequency is what we see. Audio frequencies are what we hear. Everything is a frequency.
And there's more than
You go into string
3
theory,
dimensions around us.
Reality is a multiple spectrum
Breaking
of sound
it down,
waves.
quantum.
Yeah, all right, sure. Words.
Using words.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just-
Maleficent melody.
Yeah, there it is.
Dude.
Yeah.
Fucking
Oh, man.
micro.
All right. Buzzwords.
Malignancy.
So I will say this: I don't know any more than Mark,
Yeah. I mean, none of us
At all.
know
No,
anything.
it's interesting.
but I
though.
do
It's super
I do know
weird.
that according to I guess Michio Kaku and people much smarter than any of us sitting here say that frequencies are the key to everything. So maybe. I mean, some people have the genetics that their head is a tuning fork that they can occasionally see these things.
10th dimensional demons, dude.
Yeah.
They're just sucking on your adrenochrome and your fucking serotonin and just getting your life force off you and tormenting you because that's how they feel better about themselves.
Wow.
Because they had a terrible childhood.
Jesus.
Really?
So they're
taking
just
it on
basically
you.
interdimensional bullies?
Yeah,
They're just being
basically.
dicks because their
Yeah.
dad didn't love them?
I mean, it's not uncommon to be like, yeah, there are these weird entities around us that siphon energy and whatever off of us. I mean, it's very common.
I
We
feel
talk
like
about
that
it
would
all
be
the time.
the Rob Zombie version of it. Like if he did hit, like the way he has to white trash everything, like Michael Myers needs
Yeah.
a stripper mom origin story.
Yeah,
Like all of a sudden we're
yeah.
taking something
Yeah.
celestial and dark and cosmic and we're turning it into like just, fucking just beat down grubby.
Dig through the ditches and burn. Yeah, you're doing that. You're
So-
digging and you're burning and you're
But it's not to say
cars,
it's
yeah.
wrong. Who knows?
Cars.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's no, we can't solve
No,
this.
we can't.
No,
So that's what-
Jesus,
I
so
will-
far beyond us.
I will
My
say
God.
this.
There's not really enough here to really do anything.
No, it's besides like speculate that. I'd be more curious about like if is there a way to prevent this or
Yes.
to halt this.
My final takeaway would be, I do hope for that my whole speculative outro that science eventually catches up, and I hope these people right now, here and now, find relief. Whether it's
Yeah,
through
man.
exorcism,
For sure.
I mean, maybe somehow arcane rituals like the rite of exorcism somehow impedes the progress of these things, even if it doesn't work the way maybe Catholics and Christians think it does,
Right.
or maybe it does, and somehow they get relief from these things, even if
Yeah.
it's temporary. I root for that. But I would still rather live in a world where it's the manifestation of their own psychoses and not real, because that's a really frightening
for sure.
prospect for all of us. And that's very selfish. But that having been said, no matter what the cause of all of this, I hope that they find relief. And I would say try whatever methods you have. I mean, humanity has prescribed methods for dealing with these things, not the least of which is the aforementioned rite of exorcism. Pursue these things, because even if you don't necessarily believe in it, they have a track record of working.
words are power,
So
dude.
if for somehow like this, they're able to build a firewall on you that prevents this shit from getting in, whether or not it works the way they think, go for it
There you go.
and stop these fuckers from getting in.
Yeah, the wide area firewall, dog.
There it is.
Spiritual firewall. Thank
Well-
y'all for joining us. No spiritual firewall.
No, yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm saying I don't believe that. I mean, I think that's more of like just the power of placebo. Like if you believe this thing's gonna work, it's gonna
It will
work.
But maybe
Yeah.
that's the key, because maybe if your mind
Which is fine. That's fine.
trips the
Yeah.
switch and believes
Whatever-
it works, maybe,
whatever works.
maybe we have the ability to defend ourselves, but we just have to believe.
I use the whole power of the whole PMA thing, positive mental attitude. I use that constantly to just get me out of bed and get going in the morning. I mean, I just believe in it. Just fucking go.
Right on.
So I'm like, I got no other fucking choice. I gotta be happy about this shit, and I'm fucking doing it, man.
Yeah,
Put
why
a
be
smile
miserable?
on my fucking face. That's the thing. Is honestly, it's part of my thing is like, I know that I have to do this. Why be miserable about it? And I just put my fucking best foot forward, and maybe that's why those fucking things are not circling around me right now.
Don't fucking tempt them,
Right.
dude.
I don't have
There's
to.
not reason. I mean, you got a good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I keep the shit going. In hard times, I still keep the shit going, man.
You do.
That PMA.
You're a
You
trooper.
got your Jennies.
Yeah, I got my
You got-
I got my
You got your Jennies. You got your basement. I mean,
yeah, I got my basement, my Jennies. I got my lawn that I'm taking care of.
I'm going to tell you one thing.
It's pretty
and
good.
The key to keep yourself safe:
What's that?
embrace your bad horse. That motherfucker keeps the imps at bay.
That's how I keep my shit straight. Is that I keep the bad horse at bay.
That motherfucker.
he don't need no bad horse.
He will kick the shit
I
out
had
of
a
him.
bad horse for years, man, and it wasn't cool. I wasn't a good person. I wasn't doing fine. kind of sucked. And then I put the bad horse in this state. Sometimes I go pet him, give him a little pet.
Yeah.
A little pet
Yeah.
the old bad horse. Maybe I take him out in the yard a little bit. Maybe a little ride.
You telling me Nick never wants to ride the bad horse? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I think
there's
we
always
both
a
know that.
Happy
partial,
Mother's Day, Nicole.
partial bad horse, not the full bad horse.
Right.
Oh,
Fair.
man.
Like the bad pony.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, like the dark miniature pony.
Yeah, the bad horse shrunk to a bad pony.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's a
true.
pissy little pony.
Keep the bad pony.
Oh,
And
the
he just
pissy
comes up-
pony?
Pissy pony just comes out. He's all mad. "Meh," and you're like, look, I'm being positive today. And he's like, no, you're not. And you're like, fuck, you're right, I'm not. Let's go do bad shit with the little pony
Right.
person.
That's fair.
Little pony mama, let's go.
All right. As long as you keep him
You're
safe.
gonna be happy now, but we're gonna drink 30 Jennies.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking jerk off to something really weird. That's the pony. Nothing really bad. Just
Right.
like, you know.
Yeah. Just. Yeah.
All right, man. Well,
Yeah.
fucking keep your positive the power of positive reinforcement. No, what the fuck was it? What's the
PMA, baby.
What's that Tony Robbins shit? The
No idea.
the fucking the power of positivity.
Sure.
We all
Okay.
could take a lesson from that.
I believe in
and
that.
maybe the power of positivity and having a good attitude might prevent these things from, showing up. Because they're
Can't
like,
hurt.
we can't. His adrenochrome is not tainted. His serotonin levels aren't all over the fucking place. Thank you, Wellbutrin.
Yeah.
There you go.
There
See?
it is.
So there it is.
Okay.
And if you can't do that, cultivate your bad horse until
Yeah, just pull
that
a Rob and
motherfucker-
cultivate your bad horse.
it will kick the fuck out of anything that comes too close.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Cryptonaut Podcast.
Just two paths. There's two paths.
There's it. That's it. Bad horse, the good horse. What are you going to do there, chariot? Master of the chariots. Robert, we got Patreon shout-outs to do.
Cheria.
For the good folks, support us over
God.
there at patreon.com.
Yes.
Cryptonaut
Oh,
Podcast.
bless you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who listens. Thank you, everyone who sends kind words. And thank you, everyone, especially who supports us financially, because God bless you. You're keeping us in a sweet ass studio. You're keeping the rent
you're
paid.
watching because of it.
You're
Hope
keeping,
you're watching this.
Thank
keeping,
you.
keeping Bobby soaked in some Evans Williams over there.
Shit,
So,
yes.
There, who do we got?
I almost said Israeli. That was just been wrong.
Is
I
it,
apologize.
is it Israel?
It's Israel Perez Tanahashi.
Thank you, Israel.
Oh, I love that.
Nice.
Kyle Perrin.
Thank you, Kyle.
John Santalicito.
Hell yeah, John. Welcome back, buddy.
Yes, welcome back.
Good to see you back.
Blake Trowbridge.
Yeah, Blake. What?
Oh, that's so like a literary giant. That's the name of somebody that's fucking written some books that they make you read in college.
Yeah, for sure.
Michael
Oh,
McMikeface.
yeah, Michael.
Oh,
thank you.
McMikeface.
We appreciate it.
Cole Myers.
Hell yeah, Cole.
Justin Kaufman.
Thank you, Justin.
Brandon Hogan.
Thank you so much, Brandon.
Snake Gear.
Yeah, Snake Gear. Hell yeah.
Last, not least, never least, Chris Musarino.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate it.
Nice.
Again, check it out over there at patreon.com/Cryptonaut Podcast. Coming up in June, boys. Oh, we got
Oh,
something
shit.
happening. We
Yeah,
have
we
a
do.
new Patreon tier dropping.
Hard to believe.
Really? So it's 4 years in the making?
That's it?
Listen,
Promised, hinted at for.
we move at our own pace.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, we are three individuals that move at our own pace, but
That's
we
true.
together we move hand in hand, heart to heart, to the dance floor.
Yeah, loin to ass. We do it.
Yeah.
It's a weird human centipede.
We all
Yeah.
collectively get baby from the corner.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
lift her up.
We lift
We
her
lift
up together.
I mean, it takes
yeah.
all three of us.
And then we say, "Here you go, baby. Here is the new Patreon."
If somebody
tier."
can make a little movie who's good at editing really quick,
it'd be fucking dope.
Yeah.
have us
for
lifting
sure.
the baby up somehow. I don't know how.
Oh my
so
God.
keep
Well,
your
let's take a picture of us, arms up,
nice.
and then they can just Photoshop it.
So keep your eyes on the Patreon. This will be launching, we believe, like the first week of June. This will be happening like the very first week of June.
Yeah,
So
that's the plan.
yeah, we're gonna get. We got some details to work out, and we're gonna be getting everything sort of like situated. So we'll let you guys know ahead of time. We'll have it all out there.
Yeah, everything
blasted,
outlined.
cool.
You'll know what you're getting.
Yeah, there's going to be video, all kinds of video content. Holy shit, it's going to be super fucking fun. Ad-free episodes, all kinds of fun stuff. So
Yep.
that'll be launching again there in June. So should be sure to sign up at patreon.com/Cryptonaut Podcast. Coming up in May 31st to be exact, we have a Discord event
Oh,
with our very own Mr. Robert Thomas Morphy doing the Devil's Academy. We're going to be having a watch party.
yeah. I'm resigned to it. I'm excited.
It's super awesome. We're doing that. So if you're on the Patreon and you're like, I have not joined the Discord, do yourself a favor, join the Discord. It's super easy, super fun. We have like monthly events and shit. It's super cool to come on, hang out with us. We hang out with you, drink a couple beers, watch Rob do his awesome shit.
Talk shit.
Yeah, we
hang
talk
out.
shit. It's super fun. It's overall a great community. I'm in there constantly.
Oh, it's just it's good people. We're all friends.
Yeah, no, it's
and
totally
it's just
cool.
fun. Yeah.
Come check it out. The socials, the Instas, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the medias. We're out there doing it, making it happen. Merch. We got merch.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Oh, we got merch.
Sexy hot merch.
Yeah, we got hellerspace.com, the TeePublic shop. Check that out.
Summer's right around the corner.
Yeah, so TeePublic has monthly sales. I put them out there on the socials, but if you buy anything from TeePublic, they will like text message you like a couple times a day sometimes to be like, hey, we got shit on sale. So it's pretty cool. I actually have to buy merch because there's a bunch of shit that I'm like, oh, fuck, I want to get that. I never did. So I'm going to take advantage of the sale, which the t-shirts are $16, and check that out. So hellerspace.com, look at that. Also to crowd-made exclusive cryptonautmerch.com. We got hats.
We got
You
hats.
guys you wearing yours? Yeah, you wearing yours. Yeah, Chris has his.
Well,
Rob
I'm
has his.
wearing headphones.
Rob has the snapback. Chris has the dad hat. So check it out there. Very nicely embroidered.
Oh yeah, it's
hats.
dope. It's exactly what we were hoping for, and then in our beta versions never got.
No, this design worked out pretty well.
Yeah,
because
no,
it's
this one
very
worked.
simple. It's a logo.
It's a logo.
Yeah, there's not much. We toyed with stuff and it didn't work.
Yeah.
This seems to work the best.
I have a stack of
We tried simplifying
possibilities that
we tried
weren't possible. Like,
well,
at one point, I'm like, why would you send this?
Yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't
No,
make
I
any
know, I
sense.
know. You have a collection that's crazy. But,
Yeah,
but
it's
we
bad.
we will have the option of also silk screening some of them, which will open up some parameters to design. Right? Isn't one of the hat designs like you were?
Oh,
thinking,
you're talking
like,
about from
like
a different
the-
manufacturer,
Yes.
not from Crowdbase.
Oh yeah,
that we
a
haven't
different
announced
thing.
yet.
I was just talking hats in general.
Yes, no.
There's another hat.
There's another
thing.
hat thing happening down the road. We're not quite sure.
We're not there yet?
We're not there yet.
All right, so
Yeah.
we've done preliminary discussions, and I'm very excited.
We had preliminary emails.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just the
I'm
tiniest.
super stoked on that because that will make things a lot easier. So we got hats happening. Check it out. Grab yourself a hat. Do all that there. I think that's it. Oh, on Spotify, there's a new feature on there called it's not new, but we're publishing your reactions now on Spotify. It's like Q&A. What did you think of this episode? And you can go in there and type like fucking dope or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we go through weekly and we pick a couple of them and we publish them out there. So if you're on Spotify, you want to say something on, we can publish
So we
it.
get to decide.
Yeah, it's. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we can do it automatically, but
Right.
we just go in there weekly and figure out which ones. Like, oh, this is cool, and then send it out and do it that way.
I know
So-
us well enough to know we are going to publish bad ones.
They're actually not a whole ton of negative stuff.
Really?
Spotify is very nice to us.
Unlike
Extremely nice to us.
those other cocksuckers.
Where?
Nowhere.
On Apple
Everyone's actually
Podcasts?
really nice to us.
Yeah, on Apple
No.
Podcasts.
I mean,
when they leave us a 4-star review, yet still manage to be scathing.
yeah, I know.
Right, I know.
Oh, God bless
I
them.
actually worked that into an ad.
Did
that
you?
We had for BetterHelp. I
Right
worked
on.
it into there.
Good.
Because it's still, I kind of, how you can like print tweets? I want to like print that review and just keep it just so I can, I fucking love it.
Oh, I loved it too.
I love that it was such a long diatribe, but they still did 4 stars.
4 stars,
They did-
yeah.
and they started super positive and ended way positive.
Ended really positive.
So it's
it was
like
great.
you can tell this person's a manager.
Yeah.
Because I know,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
start with a compliment.
Yeah.
Bring the lecture.
And then fucking
Then
ended on a good
end
note.
with it.
Yeah,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh no, it just erased everything I just said.
It was
Yep.
I love it. And if you want to leave us reviews, you can do that. You can do that at Apple Podcasts. It's no longer iTunes, it's Apple Podcasts. You can just leave stars on Spotify. We appreciate it. And thank you to everyone that spreads the word and lets people know about the show. We appreciate word of
Yes.
mouth is huge.
Thank you.
And if
Tis.
you're around the Syracuse area, I've been dropping off business cards in odd places like K-Pot or like the Kebab Guys. I've been leaving.
Yeah, but you snuck them in K-Pop, right? Because they can't use.
Oh yeah, no,
legally.
I've
Okay.
been sneaking them everywhere.
If you go to,
Sure.
they're in Branching Out. If you go to Branching Out Bottle Shop, they're there
cool,
too.
cool.
dropped them
Yep,
off there.
I keep restocking the Soundgarden. I keep doing that. I might leave them in Target. Just saying. In the NECA section, the pops. That's why if you're over there looking for some pops, like, what's that? My boy Mark leave a card. Oh yeah, there it is.
Just
Wow.
fucking just
Just
drop them off.
random. I know. I put them between shit.
So
I
wait,
just
what
put 'em between-
happens
That's
if,
messed
if,
up.
if a listener finds a card and mails it back to us? Do we give them a shout?
I'll give them a sticker.
Oh.
Yeah, one single sticker.
Wow.
Yeah.
hot sticker and a shout. Let's do a shout.
Okay,
too.
a shout and a sticker.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, if you find a card.
It seems like such a weird thing.
Mark's gonna mail you a sticker.
Yeah, I got stacks of stickers.
You have such a limited geography.
I mean, it's literally within Syracuse.
It's not like we send them across the nation or the world, but maybe someday we will.
No, you never know. Well, maybe we can give some to Dana Bruce and she can spread them around the world.
Oh my God!
Well, I'll be heading to
stickers
Rochester
everywhere.
shortly, so I'll try to go chop them off.
And
some
once
places.
football season starts, baby, I'm gonna bring in stacks of this shit to Bills games, just throwing them all over everybody as I jump. through
People are
tables.
just gonna piss on them and fucking.
Oh, why would they do that?
'Cause it's
Like,
Buffalo.
Oh, stop! How dare you be like, what's this? It's a
Rob.
dope show.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like,
piss
Rob.
on
No, we're gonna.
business
I'm already smelling the pre-pissed on cards that are gonna get sent back, and I'm gonna be like, this fucker gets a sticker now.
These are terrible. Oh,
Yeah.
There it is. Thank you all so very much, and we're talking to you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yes.
Later.
See ya.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Bad horse talks.
Oh no! Put the bad horse away, please. Put it back in the stable.
Oh, you want me to?
Put it in
You know
the
what I have to
stable.
say?
What's that?
Nay.
Oh, horse humor. Ah!
That is just shut this off now. I'm not even gonna. I want nothing to do with this pod.
Oh, fuck.
I want nothing. I'm gonna edit myself out of this pod.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I don't blame
hilarious. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.